Hello my good people and welcome. In our today's session I'm going to take you through Python crash course, and on this video I'm going to cover 60 to 70% of what you need to know about Python programming language. The reason why I decided to do this video is because that I have realized that over 90% of colleges and universities here in Kenya, they don't include Python programming language as part of the units that you normally cover in IT related courses. Whether you're doing a certificate, a diploma, or a degree, there is nowhere you are going to encounter Python programming language. And do you know that is very, very serious? Because or rather, in other words, it's a problematic, because where the future of technology is heading, it revolves around Python programming language. You know, the future of technology revolves around data, machine learning, and that is data science, machine learning, deep learning, and all those kind of stuff. And the easiest way you can implement these kind of features in all systems that you normally develop, it's by using Python programming language. That's why I'm telling you is very, very serious. When you go out there, you realize that the biggest organization or the biggest company in the tech industry, like Google, Facebook, when it comes to Twitter, we have got Tesla, which is developing or manufacturing what we refer to as self-driving cars. They are using Python programming language. So that is something you need to know, and to know that here in Kenya it's an hot cake, though we have got a number of people who have gone ahead and they have learned this kind of programming language. You need to be among the team that is going to move the tech industry in Kenya forward to the global market. So maybe you are asking yourself who I am. I'm Erico Banks, and I normally run this Codestar platform. I realized that even though the 90% of the university they don't cover still Python programming language, still they normally cover theoretical stuff. Everything is done theoretically there when you go to colleges and universities. So the reason why I started this platform called Codestar is to offer skill-based courses on this field of IT, the skills that are needed out here in the job market. So you can feel free to check our courses. They are pocket friendly, and register and create an account. That is, you register. Once you register, you're going to get a confirmation so that we can confirm your email is valid. Then you are supposed to click to activate your account. Then you can log in and enroll a course of your choice. So that's who I am, and this platform, that's what we normally do. And lastly, what we normally do on this channel, it's that we normally share knowledge and skills on this field of IT, at least to make each and every one of us to grow in this profession of IT. So you can support this channel by making sure you subscribe. As you can see, the number has surpassed 539 subscribers as we speak right now. So the other thing is, feel free to check our playlist, which is going to help us to get those watch hours that we need, the 4,000 watch hours that we need to make our channel be monetized, because you know that money is needed in everything to make sure at least you get a good content which is quality. Also, we can invest on gears and all those kind of stuff. So you can check these are some of our viral videos that we have on this platform, and we have got over 60 videos on this channel. So things like how to integrate your system, that is your web system, with Lipa na M-Pesa. We also have a point of sale which is built using Python programming language, and it's integrated with Lipa na M-Pesa. We also have a video on how to create USSD application, how to send SMS, and other nice videos that you can also check. We are doing also very nice stuff when it comes to graphic design. As you can see also in AutoCAD, we normally also do kind of stuff like that one. So you can support this channel by making sure you subscribe. When you watch our videos, make sure you like them, that is, you give them thumbs up. And lastly, you can share to as many people, because I know most of you have a good network. You can share the links of this video on your social media platform, like on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. That's how you are going to support this channel. And still ukijisikia unaweza M-Pesa, my friend, niko na M-Pesa. You can do that. So you just need to click here. The M-Pesa number is this one. you can support us. At least we get good gears and so forth, cameras and so forth. So feel free to talk to us. You can choose this to use this chatbot, which is here. You just write director and we are going to contact you back. It's always available all the time. So that is who we are as Codestar Technologies. Now let's not waste a lot of time. Let's jump in and start learning Python programming language. And because the video is going to be very long, and our agendas of today, we are going to know where we start, how to download and install Python programming language, the resources that we need to have. We are going to go through some slides here and there and get to the actual coding of the Python programming language so that you can understand how it works. So first of all, before you start programming in Python, you need to download IDE. That is the software that you're going to use to write your Python program. In my case, I normally use the official Python IDE, and you can get it on the official Python organization website. That is python.org. So you just need to click here and search python.org. Then it's going to take you here. Then you can click on downloads, then choose your operating system, and in that case you can move ahead and choose the version that you need. In my case, I'm using version 3.72 something to do with that, because that one, it's very easy to install data science and machine learning modules that I normally use. The latest version, sometimes they normally have complication when it comes to even they are not compatible with some of the modules that are out there. So it's very important to consider that. So I hope now you can go ahead and download Python programming language, Python IDE from this official. But in case maybe you might need to use any other IDE that's out there, we have got Visual Studio Code. You can also use what we refer to as PyCharm, which is also another tool that most people normally use it. So in my case, as I said, you can use version 3.7 is 3.7. I think it's this one, something like that, either 3.8. This one is okay, 3.8, something like that. You can use 64 or 32 bits depending on your operating system, and you download the installer. When you click there, automatically it's going to ask you this one. Then you save. Once you save, it's going to download. When it downloads, you just need to click and open, then you do the installation. So I hope that one has got no problem. I have already done something like that. So that is step number one. Step number two is the resources that we need to use in Python programming language, because as I said, this is a very nice video for someone who has knowledge to do with the programming language. If you've done certificate or diploma, I know maybe you've done either NEC or CASNEB exam, and in one way or the other you did the structure programming part of it, which gives you the introduction to programming, that is computer programming. So which makes you be in a good position to learn Python programming language. It's one of the easiest programming language which is out there. So if it's your first time to learn programming on this video, you're going to face some challenges, but if you're a first learner, be assured that you're going to catch up and move ahead. So the first step, as we said, it was to install the Python programming language. You just download and do the installation. Once you do the installation, you'll be able to click on the search, you write Python, and you're going to see these Python IDEL. Let me just write Python. Sorry. Do I have any problem here? You can click there, write Python, and then where is it? I don't know. Yeah, this one. Sorry, I don't know whether it is this one. You just click the first one and it's going to open the Python IDE, which you can use to write your Python programs. So this is the console, but if you need a nice editor, you just Control N, or you can click File, New, to open a new file like this one. So this is what we have already. I have pinned it here. I can just double click it direct like that, then Control N, or in other words, as I said, file new, so that you can write your programs. If you use the console, it means like if you say like 4 plus 5, something like that, you can use this kind of stuff, and it's going G is equals to 7, T is equals to 8, I can say Y is equals to T plus what, plus G. Then you can see if I say Y, you can see it's going to display the answer like that one. So that is how you work with console. I'm not interested with console. I just want to start programming directly. So now I hope the installation is okay. You have checked whether the installation is working. The next thing is the resources that you need to use when you're learning Python programming language. This is my best platform for someone who wants to start learning any type of programming language. You can see they have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL. We have got Python, PHP, Bootstrap, and many more programming languages that are out there. So it's called W3 School. It's a good platform where you can, it's a good website that provides all these resources that you need, and it has got well organized content that you can check. So you can scroll like that one and learn more about the stuff. The other one that you can use apart from W3 School, you can also use Java T. It also organizes its content very well. As you can see, it has got a lot of resources that you need to know about Python. So you can see it has got even the source code, which you can just copy direct and paste to your IDE, and it starts working immediately. So that is it. The other thing that you need to, the other materials that you can also use is from Study Tonight. As you can see here, they have well organized content like introduction to IDE. We have got numbers, we have got operators, and click to variable, and I think it's going to display a very nice content. I have got also some PDFs which can help you to learn Python programming language. Let me show you the PDFs. I normally have folders like for each and every programming language. So the notes are from here. As you can see, I have got a lot of content from Tkinter. We have got some slides. We have got some Word document, complete, how do you call them? Cheat sheets, something like that. And I have got more like here. And when you click them, at least you can see it's well organized. These are cheat sheets, and you can use them. They will help you to learn very fast this programming language called Python. So you can see they are very nice, well organized with the source code. So it's a matter of just understanding how this source code works, and you're good to go. So for the guys who have got knowledge to do with Python programming languages, not Python but any programming language, it is going to be a very easy thing that you can learn, because programming languages, they never differ in any way. The kind of learning order of how the topics to follow each other, it's like almost the same. So I'll try at least to share the resources online. I'll upload some. I think I uploaded some also on my Google Drive. Like you can see this one, there is a folder called Python. I'll be able to share like some of them at least, and share a link on the description so that you can be able to access this some of these resources, and the links for these websites that I've talked about, the Python official website, maybe if you're not aware about it, where you can download the IDE, the Java T, we have got the W3 School, so that you can be able to click direct and start learning. You can also download some mobile apps that can help you when you go to App Store. If you're using your mobile phone, you can download mobile apps that you can use to learn Python programming language. Even to code, you can code using your smartphone. If you're using Android, you just need to install this application and you go direct and do that. So in case maybe you might be interested with those mobile apps and you don't know where you can get them, feel free to contact me via this chatbot you have here, or maybe you can WhatsApp me directly. That is the through this phone number which is here. So you'll be able to deliver your information, and I will be able to assist you. So those are some of the resources that you can use, and I will be able to share with you so that you can start learning on your own. Now I hope so far you have installed the Python programming language. sorry, not programming language, but IDE. And the next thing, you know where resources you can get them. The last thing that we are going to do so that we can get to actual programming, it's now to go through these slides that we have here. We have got some slides here. I don't know why it is taking too long to open. So these are slides that we have. Sorry, these are some of the slides that you need to know. And first of all, the most important thing is to know, I've talked much about Python. I think right now you know what Python is, but I've not clearly defined what Python programming language. So I can start by defining what a Python programming language is. And it is a high-level programming language that is a scripting object-oriented programming language. It supports those kind of features. As you know that programming languages are classified as either compiled language or maybe scripting languages. Python is one of the scripting languages that are out there because it is interpreted. When I say scripting, all the scripting languages, they are interpreted. So when you want to translate it into machine understandable form, when you write a program in Python, that is in high-level language. So for the computer to understand, it needs to convert that program into machine understandable form, and it is interpreted. So we have got compiled programming languages like C, C#, we have got Java. All those ones are compiled language. But when it comes to interpreted languages, we have got Python, we have got PHP, JavaScript, and all that. Those are good examples of scripting languages that we have out there. So Python, as I said, it supports object-oriented programming. This is a feature that is very needed when you want to develop a complex system. So you need to learn more about object-oriented programming. So, and Python is one of the easiest or simplest program that you can write because it is like English statements. So so long as you know you've done some mathematics here and there, it's not that much mathematics, but you know how you used to organize your calculations doing mathematics. You can do this one also in Python. It is a very, very simple thing that you can do. So Python is one of the simplest and easiest programming language which is out there you can start using. So that is the simple definition of what Python is. It is an high level scripting object oriented programming language. So that is what Python is. Now all programming languages, you normally cover the same thing. It doesn't differ in any way. So in case maybe you are out there, you did your certificate, your diploma, your degree, and you want to learn a new programming language, it's like similar to each and every other programming language because you need to know about the rules of naming variables, how to declare variables, the data types that are normally used, the operators, how to use the operators. We have got decision making and looping, how to write things like functions, how to implement what we refer to as object-oriented features in your system, and lastly, it is about graphical user interface and how you can integrate your system with the database. Those are some of the things that you normally research on when you are learning new programming language. So to learn new programming language, it's not a problem. The concept is the same. The syntax normally differ from one programming language to another, but the hardest part, even when you come to Codestar technologies, that's why you can see we are giving even like the resources free of charge, because resources, materials, there are a lot of contents that you can look for. And sorry, because I forgot to tell you about a channel called Tech with Team, which is a very nice video that you can follow about Python programming language. So let's wait until it loads so that you can get to see that video, which you can watch and learn more about, because it has got it is well organized. I can say that. I can recommend to you as that one as one of the resources that you can use to learn Python programming language. So as I was saying, I said that learning programming languages, the concept is the same. You'll find that the course outline is almost similar. What differs is the syntax, and now what gives people headache is how you implement. As many people, they know the syntax, but how to implement this one to come up with a system, that is the hardest thing. So as I was saying that on Codestar Technologies, we target more on how you can be able to do or to accomplish your project using Python programming language, or maybe any other programming language that you'll be covering, be it PHP, JavaScript. You can become a full stack JavaScript developer. Python, we have got machine learning and data science. We have got also web development using frameworks like Django and Flask. So that is it. So that is the most important thing that you need to know about programming languages. The concept is almost the same. The syntax differ a little bit, but when it comes to application, that is the hardest part, where most beginners or those are some of the challenges that most beginners they normally face. So we have defined what Python programming language is, and we are going to jump direct to the variables. So to name variables is the same. It doesn't differ from one programming language to another. As you can see, the rules remains the same. Like the variable name must start with a letter or maybe an underscore. Underscore is the only special character that you can use. You cannot use a spacing, like you cannot write my name. You have a space between my and name. That is not acceptable. So that is rule number one. We have got another rule. It's a variable name cannot start with a number. As I said, you cannot start like 1 2 name, something like that. It's not possible. Variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore. So as I said, underscore, you can use it. You can write name1, something like, or num1, something like that. 1 is allowed. Combination of text and numbers is allowed. Bora usikwe na nini, sorry. I know maybe this video might be someone from outside Kenya can be watching the video. So I mean, you cannot use maybe spacing, or you cannot start with a number. The last rule which we have here is that variable names are case sensitive. As you can see, the difference, like Python programming is a case sensitive programming language. So age and age with capital letter and age with both capital letters, and even G, just when you change one thing, one letter, either to lowercase or uppercase, it's going to affect. Those are totally different things. That is what we are talking about here in name ruling. So that is all about how you declare variables. The next thing is data types. It's like almost, programming language, you'll encounter there is a string or character, integer, floats, a boolean, but in Python we normally have lists, dictionaries, we have got tuples, and we have got sets, which have not included here. String, it's just text. Integer is a whole number, like for example 9 without a decimal point. Float is the one that we which has decimal point. We have got boolean which has got it's like true or false. Then lists, you just need to use these corner brackets, and list can be combination of text, numbers, booleans, and so forth. It's allowed to use in lists. We have got dictionary. Dictionary has got key value like Gina, Eric, profession, something like that. You can combine all those kind of stuff. Like as you can see here, we have got Gina and profession. So Gina, you specify who is it, then profession, something like that. So you define it, as you can see, and it uses these curly braces. I think we normally call them curly braces. So that is the dictionary. I'll be able to show you at a later stage how to use them. That is dictionary, lists, and I'll also show you tuples, sets, and so those kind of stuff. So let's go to the next one, is operators. These are signs or operators that we normally use in programming language. These are the common ones, the arithmetic operators, which is addition, division, multiplication, things like those ones. So the last one, which is percentages, we normally refer to it as the modular. Then we have got relational operators, which is greater than. I know you understand all this kind of stuff. Logical operators normally have and, or, not. And for the guys who have covered logic gates, I know you are familiar with what and means, or means, and not means. So in this case, at least we'll do 2-3 examples so that you can be able to understand how to make use of them. Then note that the order of operators, maybe if you're given an equation, how do you solve it programmatically using Python programming language? It normally uses this procedure called PEMDAS. That is parentheses, exponential, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. That is the order of operators. It's similar like the way we normally say BODMAS in mathematics, how we used to cover it. So that is it. The next topic that we are going to cover, it's all about, sorry, I forgot to write it in a better way. It's called I can hand so that I don't know. sorry, decision, not decision. So that is it. So as I said, we are on the next topic, which is decision making. Under decision making, you need to know how to use if statements to make decision. We have got while loops, we have got for loop, which also you can also use, and other types of decision making that are out there. So decision making does not only include decision making, it includes also the loops, and we have got while loop, for loop, and all those kind of stuff. The next thing that we are going to cover today is all about functions, how you write functions in Python. As you know that we have got predefined functions that you can use in Python. We have got user defined functions also, which you can use in Python. So in this case, we are going to learn more on user defined function, how you declare a function, how you give a function name, pass variable, how you call a function, those kind of stuff that you are going to do. And that's all about what we are going to cover today. But so that you can move ahead and start learning on your own, as I give you a challenge so that you can learn more about the graphical user interface modules that are used in Python. If you need to create an interface, the front end part, you have to use a module that can help you to design the graphical user interface that will enable us to interact with your system. So there is a module that is bundled together with Python when you install. That is, in case you're using Python IDE, you can use Tkinter, which is a module that I normally use in most cases. You'll be able to see all those kind of stuff. Then we have got object-oriented part. You can also learn more about classes, inheritance, polymorphisms. These are most important stuff that you need to know much about Python programming language. We are going to do a video of this kind of stuff at a later stage. And that's all what you need to know about that. But beyond that, now after designing the graphical user interface, you can go ahead and integrate your system, that is your application, with a database like a SQL database or MySQL database, and you'll be learning a lot, because once you do the integration with your database, it means you can create a simple CRUD system, that is create, read, update, and delete, simple system that can store data in your database. And in that case, you'll be moving forward. Then after that, get to know how to package your system, how you can package a simple desktop application, because once you use Tkinter or those kind of stuff, you'll be able to design a good simple desktop application that you can also package and deploy it or start making use of it. That's how you can do it. For the web-based in Python, I said you can only use stuff like we normally have stuff like frameworks like Django and Flask, where I recommend Django in most cases compared to Flask, because with Django you can do complex systems. So that was a stage number 3, as you know that we started from downloading and installing Python. We get again to the resources and notes that you can use and videos. I don't know whether it's loaded that video. I think it has a problem. I think maybe at a later stage we'll be doing that. I will be sharing those videos also on the description so that you can make use of them. And after knowing the resources and all those kind of that stuff, I've shown you some of the topics that we are going to cover, like variables, how you name variables, data types, operators, decision making, functions, and all the other stuff that we have covered today. So now it's jumping direct to the implementation. Now we start actual coding using Python. So as I said, you just need to install the IDE and start making use of it. So in our case, I'm going to open that IDE like that. So here we can write our program. Now, as I told you, the video is going to be very, very long, because I think almost 20 to 30 minutes have gone on that introduction part. Now, we have got starting declaring variables. I said I don't want to start by declaring variables. In any programming language, the first important thing that you need to know is like how to write a simple hello world program, and that's how you can generate an output using a certain programming language. So the output in Python, we just write print into brackets quotation. You can write hello one Codestar or hello world, whichever way that you want to put it. Then you just close the quotation and the bracket. You press Ctrl S, or you can click file, save as, and I can save it on desktop. And I want to use let me create my own folder, a new folder, crash course. Then you double click your folder and I can save it as lesson 1. Then I save my file like that. So Python is very, very simple. It's not like any other programming language that you've learned before, like C, where you start with hash include stdio.h, blah blah blah, a lot of stuff, int main. You don't declare all those preprocessor commands. With Python, it's very easy, direct and simple, and you can move ahead. So to output, you just need to write print and you're good to go. So if I run this program, I just need to click run. Then you can click this run module, or maybe in simple way you can press the F5 like that, and it's going to display like that, hello wanna Codestar. That's how you do it. So that is step number 1, how to output stuff with using any programming language. That is the first thing that you normally look when you start with when you're learning a new programming language. Now, after knowing how you can give an output, because a program is something that accepts input and does processing, then gives an output. So we know how to give an output, but we don't know how to give an input. So for the input in Python, we normally have you have to append or attach an input to a variable. So that's why you need to declare a variable. And as I said, you cannot write 6y equals to maybe quotation I'm Eric, like that, something like that. Then if I want to output y6, I'm supposed to write 6y like that, and then save. It's supposed to give me an error because I said you cannot start with a number. Again, as we also said, sorry, I think I closed everything, and I'm supposed to open my folder, which is crash course, like that. And crash course I can open with IDE, minimize like that. So as I said, this is wrong because we started with a number and you cannot start with our number. If I write y, it's going to be valid. But if I can say like my name, still it's wrong because we are not supposed to have a space there. If I write my name here, still it's going to give me an error like that. So it's because there is a space between. Sorry, I did the same mistake. Don't know why I'm doing that mistake each and every time. So I'm supposed to make them as either to be one word like that, then I run like that, and it's supposed to display my name is Eric, something like that. So the variable to be valid, you cannot start with a number. You can not have any other special character except underscore. I can put underscore like that. So if I use underscore like that, still it's going to be valid. It's going to display the results. So that's how those are some of the rules that you normally use when naming a variable. So the variable is my name, and it is a string, because a string is enclosed within quotation, that is something like that. Then you output like that. You don't need to put quotation here because the variable is already declared here. So if it is not declared, if like for example I change like one letter here and try to run, it's supposed to tell me my name is not declared. As you can see, it's not defined. So that's how you normally do it. So as I said, to enter inputs, this is a statically defined input, or is a static variable where you find that we already know the value, it's Eric. But assuming you don't know the value, you can just write, you want to input via the keyboard, you normally use a function called input. input into brackets, then you write quotation, then you can write, let me use enter your name. This I just wanted to display so that it can help the whoever is, for them to understand about what they are supposed to input. So enter your name. So if I run, it is supposed to ask me enter your name, and if I say Rico Banks like that, then press enter, it's supposed to display something like that, as you can see. So I can also like write my name is Rico Banks. I've written capital here, sorry, let me just make also them capital like that, then press enter, and as you can see, it is displayed that. So that's how you declare variables, that's how you enter inputs in Python programming language. It's not like C, where you normally use scanf or either printf, or maybe in C++ where we normally use C in, C out, something like that. So in Python it's very simple because you don't have all those kind of preprocessor commands, curly braces and so forth, those kind of stuff. You don't do that. That's why I told you that Python is one of the simplest programming language which is out there. Now, we know how to declare variables, how to enter input, how to enter output. Now, assuming that you are told to write a program that will calculate the total of two numbers, like sum of two numbers. So I can write like num1. Sorry, let me write in small letters. But if I write like num1 and enter number 1, so I can copy this one. This will be number 2, and this will be num2. So if I come here, I can just write num1 plus num2, and it's supposed to give me results. Like if I do that, write 30, no, it's not going to give me, is it true? Let's see. Yes, it has given me, it has done concatenation because it recognized them as strings. That is the problem. So for it to understand those ones are numbers but not text, you are supposed to enclose this one into int, into brackets like that, and put another bracket here, the same way to this one. Remember, that's what we learned on our slides. So I think right now if I say like 40 plus 50, it's supposed to be 90, like that. So it has recognized them as numbers. So that one we covered here, as you can see. Int function, string function, if you want to convert it to a specific data type, you have to enclose it like that, as you've seen how I have done. So there is this function called input, and it is inside this function called integer, so that it can convert it to a whole number, something like that. So it makes whatever you enter, it expects to get a whole number. So if I run again, and instead of entering a whole number, I write like 6.9, and you can see it is giving an error because it is expecting an integer, not a float. Unless I change that one to be a float, it cannot respond to that one. So that's how you declare variable and specify data types in Python. And again, instead of writing them here, I can move them outside, like and declare another variable called total. Then I can say equals, then that one, and here I can write a quotation like that. I can write the total is, then I close. Then because these are different statements with the total, I am supposed to separate them with a comma, then I write total like that. If I run and put like 50, enter, 70, enter, it's supposed to give me and write the total is 120. As you can see, that way. So we normally separate this statement. This is a string text, a string which is comes first, then you separate it from this variable of ours by a comma. If you don't separate, it's going to give you a problem, so you need to make sure you separate with this one. And in case maybe you might need to display it on a new line, like the total on a new line, you normally put /n, something like that. So if I run, it's supposed to be like 56, enter, 89, enter. You can see it has displayed the total is then 49. It has gone to the new line. So that's how we normally do the new line thing on Python. So right now you can declare a variable, you can do the input, the output, the calculations like total, if it is division, multiplication, addition, and so forth. Like for example, if we talk of modulus, it's something that I know most of you don't know how it works. It gives some students a challenge. When I'm training students, this a challenge that I normally give them. You can see modulus, something like that. So this one returns a remainder. So I can say like modulus num2. So as I said, in case I change, first of all, sorry, instead I change this one to num1, it doesn't know what is n, capital N. It knows only if I can run it like that and enter 45, enter something like that. You can see it doesn't recognize what is num2 because of this n, because Python, as we said, is case sensitive. So let's get back to a small n. And now I was talking about the ampersand, not ampersand but percentage, which is modulus. We normally call it modulus operator, sorry. So what does it do? Like for example, if we pick 7 divided by 3, we are supposed to get 2 remainder 1. So in this case, it's supposed to give us 1. The remaining value is the one that is displayed. So in our case, let me say I have got 7, enter, then I want to divide by 3. So it's going to tell me the remainder is 1. So think when you are a programming tutor or teacher or lecturer tells you to write a Python program that is going to divide 7 bananas to the students or to your people or to your children, and that is the 3 children, and specify the remaining bananas. They are going to divide the bananas equally, then return the remaining bananas. Hakuna kukatana. So in that case, that's what you can use. Now you know how to use those kind of operators, the arithmetic operators, how to declare variable data types, and naming variables that we have. I think you've learned some stuff there. So we can jump in now to the relational operators and logical operators and decision making. There is no easiest way you can learn about relational operators and logical operators without working with the if statement and kind of loops and so forth. So we are going to jump straight to the loops. And in this case, we are assuming that this is maths. So input marks for maths. You are told to enter marks for maths. So this one will be enter marks for English. We want to enter marks for 5 subjects. Then do what? I can copy paste 1, 2, 4, 5. So this will be maths for maths, mathematics, English, Kiswahili. I can talk of science, and I can talk of social studies. I can write social studies like that. So this one will be maths. Let me write them in short form. Inc for English, Kis for Swahili. We have got science, and social I'll write SS. So you are told to write an Python program that will accept marks for the 5 subjects, then calculate the total for the 5 subjects. the total for the 5 subjects. So it's going to be maths plus English plus Kiswahili plus science plus social, something like that. So it's going to calculate the totals like that. So this one I can call it total, and if I run, I'm supposed to enter marks for mathematics and say 56. Maths is not friendly. 67, like that, and I can finish with that. So you can see the total marks is 358. Now, if the program has done the calculation for the total, I can calculate the average, AVG, and write it like that and say it is total. You divide it by, that is how you use division, you divide it by 5 subjects. So in this case, I'm not going to have it on a new line. I can say total marks is that total, comma, I can put the other one also in the same line, like quotation. This one will go to a new line, then I can write, yes, new line, the average is, like that, and comma, I can write AVG, then run. So as I said, hesabu sio rahisi, my friends. Press enter like that, so you can see the total marks is this 291, the average is that one. Now then the program continues. The question asks you to decide if like you want to do the grading. So we'll assume like the marks which is greater than 50 is pass, less than 50 is fail. So you normally use not marks but the average. So you can say if into brackets AVG is greater than or equals to 50, then you close the bracket, then you put a full colon there. When you press enter, because these ones must be on the same block, that's why it is indented. So you can write print into brackets. This one will be pass, as I said. Then because there must be an else, the else is followed by a full colon. Again, it's going to be print, because if it is not greater than or equals to 50, it's going to be else, which is fail, like that. So we can start with pass. So how do you run? You can run 78. I want it to make up to pass. So you can see the total is 484 and it's pass. Let's check whether it is recognized fail. Fail, it's supposed to be 22. You can see it is 147, 29, and it's fail. But if the condition goes beyond, like beyond pass and fail, like we have got distinction, credit, pass, and fail, we can include another if statement. I'm talking of these if statements that we normally have here. Here you can see if else. So in Python we normally use something we call else, elif into brackets. I can say AVG is greater than or equals to, so the first one to be 80, 60, let me use that way, full colon. Then I can write, copy this one. This will be distinction. This will be distinction, and this one will be above 80. Above 80 and above it is distinction. 60 and above it's credit. And we can continue with elif. It's not elif, it's el. That's why you can see it has that kind of an error. So paste again like that. It's supposed to be indented like that. So these are greater than or equals to 40, it's supposed to be pass. Then we have got the last one, which is supposed to be fail. Yes, I was thinking of something. Let me have below 40, below, sorry, below. So now you can see we are using relational operators like greater than, less than, because we are using if statement. So that's something like that. So if I run like that, sorry, I have not written 40 here. So it's very, very important for us to have 40 there. Then we save. I want to have like 88, 9. I want it to go up to distinction. You can see it's credit because it's 79. It has not gone beyond whatever. So because it's between 60, that is greater than 60 but less than 80. That's why it's lying between 7, something like that. So the other one we can say 89, 90, blah blah. You can see it is distinction because this one is 80 something. For the pass, let's check whether the pass is you have to test everything in programming. So for the pass I can say it's 56, 58, something like that. So you can see the average is credit. Sorry, I think I've used too much. Let me say 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. You can see it's pass. Then for the fail, you can test. Fail, it's supposed to be above what? Above, below that. You can see credit why 160, 33, and it's credit 33. Or less than 40 average. Oh sorry, it's because this one I've written credit, so it's supposed to be fail, not fail, and this one should be invalid. So for the invalid, it's like when you had figures like this one, it's supposed to give you a figure which is beyond, sorry, when it's less than or greater than. So for the invalid is not going to count because we have not specified the bracket, that is the range between 80 and 100. It's going even beyond 100, and this is going beyond 40. So to have that, that's when we come up with this function called, we start using operators called and, or, and not. Let me use now and. So for the and, we can seal and say like and avg is less than or equals to 100. So that's how you normally seal this kind of stuff. So this one and this one should be not less than 100, but now in this case it's supposed to be 80. So less than 80, but not less than 80. So this one should be less than 60. Then this one should be less than, greater than 0, so that we can seal them into brackets. So greater than 0 but less than 40. So if we run our program and enter something which is out of that, supposed to tell us invalid. As you can see, the average is beyond that. So that's where we use and, or, and so forth. And you can implement this one when you are doing stuff like when you're doing like, you might be asked to write a simple login program. and that one I think I can implement it on the next question. So we learned operators, decision, we have got the loops. Sorry, the loops are not going to work with that. So that one I will implement when I'm working with function, a simple program that can specify whether you log in or you have got some error in login, either you entered wrong name or password, something like that. So let's jump into the function, not function, but loops. Loops is all about repetition, and we can say maybe we need, sorry, let me undo and say I need to enter numbers, like you might be told to display numbers between the starting number. You state numbers from which number to which number. So like I want to enter to display numbers between 1 and 10 or 8, or between any number, whichever the number I'm going to enter, and 23, something like that. So assuming you are told to write numbers between 13 and 25, so it means that when I run the program, it's going to ask me to enter the number, so I will enter 13. Then, or I can specify even here, I can say 13, something like that. Then come here and write, like you can use the loop function called while num is less than or equals to 25. Then you put a full colon and enter. I'm going to print into brackets, supposed to be the number. I want to print the number first. So after printing the number, I have to do something else. So I want, after to print the number, change the value of the number. So if number is 13, then it's going to be, the new number will be num equals the current number, which is 13, plus I'm going to increment it by 1, like that, so that it can loop all the way up to the largest number. So if I run and write 13, then press enter, you can see it is 13, 14, 15, 16 up to 25. So that's how you normally use loop, and you can use it to generate multiple table. Like for example, if you are told to display a multiplication table of 7 from 1 to 14, like I can say multiple is for 7, and I want to display that multiple. So it is going to be num, I'm going to display num comma quotation, then multiplication, close the quotation, comma, then it is going to write the number, the multiplication sign, then mult, which is 7. So if it is 1 times 7, then comma, then this one is going to be equal sign, then comma, then I can do the multiplication here. So I can write num times, the actual multiplication takes place there, like that. Then if I run my program, it comes here and tells I want to enter num is 1, so it is going to display 1 times 7 is equals to 7, 2 times 7 is equals to 14, 3 times 21, and all those kind of stuff. So that's how you normally do the loop in Python programming. Now we can jump into the next part, which is function. And with function, because I might use this one, I can use this one to write a function. I can put this source code to the function, then pass my variables. So like you are told to write a program that is going to generate the multiple of 7 using a function. So how do you declare functions in Python programming language? You must start with the keyword def, then I can call it mult p, then into brackets like that, full colon, then you enter. But I want to pass a variable here, and the variable will be num, like that. Then once I pass the variable, the function is going to do this, and this one, remember, is supposed to be indented. when you press enter, you can see it is moving higher a little bit, slightly like that. So that is my function. When you write a function, the function name is this one, and this is the variable that's going to be passed here. Then this is what is going to take place, and yeah, the rest is history. This one, because it's not declared, it's good to be on top here. Then I've got my main number, the function here, then the multiplication. The multiplication, I can move it up here also, there's no problem. So after my function, I can call the function here like mult p into brackets the value of num, but instead of num I can say this one is a. Where is a coming from? A is coming from here, so that you can have different variables. On the function we have got num, but on the main program we have got a, of which to call the function we write the function name, then bracket, and we pass the variable of a here so that it can be implemented on our function. So in that case I save and run, and I want to have multiplication of 1 times 7 blah blah blah, and you can see it has done that one. So what is happening is that when the program runs, it starts by asking you to enter this one. It knows what is 7, then there is a function, it will skip the function, it gets to the next one. So this one, it realized that the function is being called here, and we are passing the value of a. So when you pass that one, this is what is going to be done, the processing that is going to be taken care of by that function. So that's how we normally write functions in C programming. Now assuming that the program that we were supposed to do was username equals to quotation Eric, password equals to 1 2 3, like that, and you want to write a function, a program that is going to check whether the user, it's like a simple login program. So how do you do that? You can do that by doing what? I can write uname, that is for username. I'm going to enter using input into brackets enter username, because it expects you to enter from the keyboard. And this one, that is username, the variable for username. This one will be, let me say PD for password. Enter password, like that. We already know the correct username and passwords are this one, are stored in this variable, but we expect the username to the user to be asked when they run the program. It expects it to ask for this stuff. Then once it asks for this stuff, it is supposed to run variables. Like for example, there is a function that I can write here. It's def into brackets. I can call it login. Then login, I'm going to expect u comma p, and u and p, then I'm going to say if into brackets u equals username. Sorry, the function needs to go down because I've declared the function, the name, and p equals password, then like that. Then press enter, print, sorry, it's not supposed to be capital, it's supposed to be print into brackets quotation login successful, like that. Else print into brackets wrong username or password. And as I said, if I run, this function is going to have some issues because it's being called and it doesn't know the values for username and password. This one is not supposed to be there. So let me run so that you can check whether there is an error. I can say blah 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 blah. So it doesn't know what it's going to do with that. Oh, sorry, we have not passed the variable. We are supposed to pass the variable. So we are supposed to call the function here and write login. That is what I forgot. Login, then pass uname comma pd like that and run. So what is supposed to be, it's Eric, enter 1 2 3, login successful. So that is correct. If I run again and enter wrong whatever, then 1 2 3, so you can see the wrong password because both of them, they must be like this one. So that's how you implement this kind of stuff when you're writing when you're using programming language, when you coding. Now we have covered a lot of stuff when it comes to loops. So operators, we have covered a lot of operators, we have covered loops, and we have covered functions. So you can go ahead and write a Python program that can generate even numbers, odd numbers, all those kind of stuff, and get to know much about this programming language. You can see there is programs to palindrome. There is what we call to is how do we call that one? For Fibonacci, Fibonacci, something like that. That kind of programming program that you can write to do that. Cubic of a number, something like that. There are so many programs that you can test yourselves and to see whether you've learned much about programming. Now let's get to the last part, which is use case. Some of the programming language, because I think maybe you are expecting to cover the ticket part, but you're not going to cover that one. So there are some of the programs here that you can see I have done. They are use case. So let me show you. I'll be just showing you the code so that also I can share the code on the description area. So in that case, we have got projects here, and I can go to Python lessons like this one. So I will start with this one that is using called phone book. Phone book, I'm using what we refer to as dictionaries. This is how you declare dictionaries, with parentheses like that. So this is an empty dictionary, and dictionary, as we said, it normally gets what we refer to as the key value, something like that. So this dictionary is a phone book. We are calling it a phone book, and phone book is supposed to accept those kind of stuff, as you can see. So when we run, the program is going to have a command called, it will ask a command. If the command is quit, then it's going to exit the loop. So if the command is add, then it's going to call this function, and what is going to happen is that the add is supposed to ask for name and the phone number, then it is going to put it on the phone book. If it is lookup, we can look for a number. If it is change, we can change a number from our phone book, delete a number from phone book, show number from phone book. Like I can copy this one and make use of all this kind of stuff. So let me run. Then I will say I want to add a number, and I will add the first number is Erico Banks. Then is 25470071123. That's my number. I will add another one, and I say this is for James. The number for James is supposed to be 254. It's raining. Like that. I can add another one, and the number I'm going to add is for John. And for John, it's supposed to be 25 blah blah blah, something like that. Then press enter. Then I want to show numbers. You can see all the numbers are shown here for Erico Banks, James, John, and all that. What if I want to delete a number? I just write delete like that, press enter. I want to delete number for John, John, like that one. Remember, Python is case sensitive. When you press enter and now show again the numbers, you can see the one for John is not there. So that's a simple phone book using this Python programming language. Now the other one is a shopping cart that I designed, and this shopping cart, I'm not using this time round what we refer to as a dictionary. I'm using lists, and as you can see, these are two lists. As I said, you normally use these corner brackets, so they are empty lists. So I'm going to run the program, and you can see the program is asking for item name. I can say I'm looking for Mkate. The price is 50 bob. Enter. I can say no, I don't want to, I'm not done. So if I'm not done, I can add another one. T I can say it's 60. No, I can continue doing shopping. No, I can say I need maramoja, and maramoja is maybe 20 bob, something like that. So I can exit yes, and you can see it has displayed what I have purchased here. So that is a simple shopping cart, how you can do a simple shopping cart using Python. I did one which is very complex here which you can also check, and I will share the code so that you can get to know how it works. So that is for the shopping cart. Is there any other thing that you need to learn here? Those ones we have covered, all those ones. Like Boolean, maybe we've not covered Boolean. An example of Boolean, like married is the variable, so it expects us to enter either 0 or 1. So if you are married, it's supposed to tell us to enter for bring a ring. So if you are not married, you enter 0. So you just enter 0 and supposed to look for a partner, something like that, tafuta mtu. So that's a Boolean function. Now there are other projects which are here, like let me open the speech. I think the speech here, I don't know whether you will be able to hear because of rain. This is a program, I even did a video on about it. I don't know whether my internet has got some problems. So so this speech, when you run, it converts text to speech. Whatever I've written here,
hello friends and welcome.
It is converted.
In our today's session I am going to show you how you can convert text to speech. I know you have seen this types of system, like when you go to a bank or government institution and you are given a ticket to wait until you hear someone calling your ticket number to the counter like this.
There is a lot of rain which is coming. So it is converting the speech to text, and you can learn much about that one. So that one was speech to text. Then lastly, I'm going to show you a graphical user interface program. So where is it? Double click, and then I think I opened it before, recent crude, like this one. So this is a simple program that has got a database, connected to database, all this kind of stuff. It's a simple program that is doing that. This is how what we refer to as graphical user interface. So to do that, you just run by pressing F5, and this is how graphical user interface looks like. Like you can read, as you can see, these are the variables. If I want to delete like that one, I can click delete, and it's supposed to delete. Update, delete. If I want to delete like Eric, I can write capital Eric like that, and I can read. I don't know whether the delete why it's not working, something like that. So you can create, you can add, you can add address, username, something like that. Create a variable. If I read, I'm supposed to see what I've written here. You can see it's here. So this is it. This is how graphical user interface looks like. a simple program that uses graphical user interface. I did even a point of sale that is integrated with Lipa na M-Pesa, and this is it, and it's generating even reports using that one. So I can open it so that you can see how it works. This is going to give me some issues, so so it's supposed to show us the login. So the login, I can enter admin. And I'm supposed to log in. So that is all about just Python, what you need to know, and all those kind of stuff. You can develop quite a number of systems that are out there. So I hope you have learned something. So go ahead, learn more about Tkinter, so that you can be able to develop a system that can accept the graphical user interface systems, and move forward. We will get to another video that I will do about what we refer to as object-oriented programming part. Then I will start splitting now as to the web development, again to the next part where we go to data science and machine learning, and all those resources I'll be able to create a folder here on my Google Drive and share it on the description. So that is it for today's, guys. I think you've learned something new. As I told you, these programming languages, they are not different. The order of how you learn new programming languages is almost the same. What makes it different is all about syntax, and the most important thing of when you learn a programming language is to do a project, and that is what we normally focus here on this platform called Codestar Technologies. So feel free to enroll, as I said, to some of our courses that we are offering, and I will be able to take you through with my team that I normally work with. I'm not always alone. I have got a group of guys whom we normally work together. So in that case, that is it for today, and make sure you subscribe, give our videos thumbs up, like and share to as many people as you can. That's how you normally support this channel. And as I said, in case maybe you want to promote us, you can promote us with the Kahemu Pesa. Pesa, that is the M-Pesa number, so that we can acquire some hardware resources that we are looking for to improve the content and to make each and everything better. So that is it for today, and I do appreciate, guys. Thank you, and thank you once again. May God bless you.